Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's Kim Live. I am It's Kim, and we are just awaiting a raid coming over from Popcorn Planet. And I have Andy talking in my ear, so I'm gonna turn that off now because it's very distracting for me. It's just kind of a lot. But we are here because the last couple of hours have been a little bit crazy. Um, we just found out that Buzbee, Tony Buzbee, the lawyer who is representing an army of Diddy accusers, has now been accused by a Jane Doe. And I'm pretty sure I got the lawsuit. So we're gonna go through it. And I am looking at it. It's not a super duper long lawsuit, but I did want to share this with you guys. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So what I think I am gonna do though is we're gonna kind of lay the groundwork of what the heck has just happened, because it's a bit chaotic. It is definitely a bit chaotic. Thank you for everybody who is coming in. I really appreciate you guys. Producer Sister just came in the room. Producer Sister, I know you're not feeling super great, so please don't feel pressured to stay if you're not okay. But we love you. So 1 second, let me get this up.
Sorry, my computer just crashed and is restarting.
Oh no, that's not good. No. Alrighty.
If you hear random noises, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Can you guys hear us okay? Is everything all right? We're doing okay? Let me know. Let me know. Just gonna go over here to Buzbee. And then the first report. This is just... I gotta tell you guys, I spent so much time this morning putting together what we call the doc on Popcorn Planet. And it is very simply just an outline of stories that are in the public eye, that are popular, that we think would be good for the channel. And I break down what the main points are so we can just kind of like read it quickly and go, yep, that fits, that's good, that's good, that's good. Definitely got to talk about that. Maybe not that one. Did we use any of it? Of course not. Of course not. Nope, we did not, because all of this new stuff happened and it got a little bit crazy, and it started 3 hours ago. Please work. Yay, it worked. Where Tony Buzbee posted on his Instagram, and I'm just going to go through this because I know a lot of people that are going to be rating us shortly have already seen this. So if you have not, here is your, refresher or, explanation of what's going on here. So Tony Buzbee posts on his Instagram and uses this image again that he's used a couple of times, saying, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Okay. Now the caption reads, "The smear campaign continues. Today I was sued yet again by a lawyer affiliated with the same lawyers I face in the Diddy litigation. The conspiracy to discredit me and intimidate me from pursuing claims in the Diddy litigation has at this point become criminal. This latest case, like the others, is frivolous, laughable, ridiculous, and will be dismissed like the others. It now seems that every other day there is another false claim filed, all of which are being ginned up by individuals working on behalf of or in concert with those at Rock Nation and Diddy interests. This latest one is provably false, with literally no factual basis or merit whatsoever. Prior to filing it, the lawyer demanded $20 million from me, claiming that if I didn't pay, he would trash my reputation, despite being shown that his client's wild claims could not be true. We won't just sit back and allow this criminality to continue. We have reported this conduct to relevant legal authorities, and we will be filing our own cases against those behind this to put a stop to it once and for all." Okay. Now, that was posted. And then Jay-Z posted this. We're assuming it's Rock Nation. Okay. Now, this hasn't been an edited version. It looks like he's tried to clarify a little bit of what he was saying. It was very sarcastic at the beginning. So this was the The statement, the latest one, has been deleted and then re-uploaded and deleted multiple times. Let's get this right. Rock Nation is not going to be arrested because his client slash alleged ex-lover is accusing him of A-ing her, giving her venereal disease, and asking her to falsify documents in a lawsuit. We suppose it's also Rock Nation's fault that your other ex-clients are suing you for allegedly stealing their money? No. And no. God is behind that sunlight you keep referencing. We are not the source of every sunlight you get, but rock sunshine is coming your way, Mr. 1-800. Shameful. The shameful. Oh my gosh, it's so petty. It's so petty. I also just realized too, hang on. I should probably do my disclaimers before we go any further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this stream is going to have those things. This stream is going to include speculation and opinion and should not be taken as fact. Always do your own research. Links to the sources will be in the description. I've had no time to do that. It's in a Google Doc. I'll make sure that that's updated. And hi, YouTube Human Reviewer. We tried to ensure this video is appropriate according to the community guidelines. We're going to use trigger words and do our best to navigate the content. And viewers, please do not send hate to anyone, famous or not. It's not cute. We're all entitled to our opinions, but do not do anything that would cause harm to people. I do not support hate in any form. It's not cool. Also, originally what this stream was going to be was we were going to read through the Dream lawsuit. Because I have that, and I thought that would be an interesting thing to do. I talked about doing it as a members only, but I had so many people talking to me, like asking me for it, that I was like, maybe I can't. I don't know. Like, I don't want to exclude people. So yeah, but basically, any individuals mentioned moving forward are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. All right, that's it. That's we gotta make sure that that's right. So after this tweet came out, oh my gosh, like a few moments later, from my perspective, TMZ has the exclusive. It's convenient. That's all I'm saying. So this is what the article says. Let's go through this and see. Diddy Accuser's attorney, Tony Buzbee, is being sued for allegedly giving a woman an STI. He says it is a smear campaign. Okay. So here we go, this journalism. Tony Buzbee, the high-profile attorney whose multiple filed lawsuits against Diddy and one against Jay-Z, is now accused of infecting a woman he dated with a venereal disease. According to the new suit filed in the New York Supreme Court, the accuser, identified as Jane Doe, says Buzbee has taken advantage of her since 2018 when they first met during an online conversation. The woman said Texas-based lawyer charmed her and convinced her to go out with him on a date. She said she ventured to Buzbee's hometown of Houston to grab dinner with him before they took in a show. And after the performance, the woman says Buzbee booked a room at a 5-star hotel where he seduced her. The two allegedly did adult things without Buzbee revealing he had something, which is not specifically named in the suit. The woman says after she left the hotel the next day, she started to feel uncomfortable sensations in certain areas, prompting her to meet with a doctor who tested her and found that she had something from her encounter. Immediately, the woman said she contacted Buzbee to deliver the bad news, and he apologized to her, but he seemed unsurprised because she claims he already knew he had it. The woman goes on to say that Buzbee asked her not to disclose her diagnosis to anyone and vowed to provide free legal advice as compensation. Oh gosh. And the woman says she was filled with shame and grief and continued to hook up with Buzbee, who allegedly kept her on a short leash so he could manipulate her into keeping his secret under wraps. The woman says Buzbee invited her on trips to Panama and New York City, where he owned a home. Yeah. So, Buzbee. Oh, yeah. The woman says that she has both medical and dental records to prove that she suffered injuries, including a chipped tooth from him, because he apparently got really nasty physically with her. Buzbee tells TMZ the lawsuit is a criminal conspiracy to discredit and intimidate him from pursuing claims in the Diddy litigation. He calls the suit false, frivolous, laughable, ridiculous, and will be dismissed. Like the other suits, he says he has reported the lawyer who filed the latest suit to the relevant legal authorities and will be taking legal action against him and the client. Oh my goodness. So, my space angels, all of you who are here, it is good to see you all. And I'm sorry we didn't stream yesterday. I hope that this is okay. I'm glad you guys are all here. I do want to say very quickly thank you so much to Mary as well as Heather, who sent me PayPals over the past couple of days. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you, and Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. Or Happy Holidays, whatever's going on, whatever you celebrate. Trying to be inclusive here. Um, I'm just checking the chat here because I want to see where you guys are at on this. Um, just before we get into the legal docs. I don't want to start the legal docs until everybody else comes over from popcorn, and I hope that that is okay. Um, there we go. Do. Okay. So, Medora Art said, I swear the professor's expressions are different every stream. He feels you can. Does he really change? Because, like, I don't touch him. It's just probably my chair. It's kind of funny. Sorry, that's really good. Yeah, Wendy, I'm just a simple country lawyer. Yeah, that was a case. Um, Let me see here. I see your comment, Rapid Fox. I appreciate that, but I can't cite that unless I have an official source. But thank you for telling me. I'll keep my eyes open. Um, do do do. Let me see. Yeah, Deanie Rose just said it's two proud roosters having a pissing contest. Who's the baddest? It does feel very ego motivated right now. I'm not gonna lie. Some of it is it's a little bit ridiculous. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Okay, Danny, you got to give me a minute. You've been doing this a lot. You're just firing off questions at me constantly, and I can't always stop and answer them. Like I want to, but I can't. I don't know if it is a criminal offense to give someone that in the states. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, especially depending on the one, right? Like because I don't know what it is, and they have different symptoms and ways that they affect your life. So yeah, it's yeah. Let me see here. And I'm assuming, and the next one, is it not a criminal offense, or did he not give access to the accounts? I'm guessing you're saying because there's certain discovery that hasn't been done yet. Okay, so for context, because we weren't really talking about that, um, there was a court hearing yesterday for Diddy, and he was in court. Apparently, he looked quite thin, bit gray, and he was like happy holidays to everybody in the courtroom, which I'm like, of course he was. And he's singing karaoke. Fantastic, Katie. There we go. To everybody that's going to be like watching this on the replay, like, hurry up and get to the topic. Get to the documents. I can't. Andy's singing. um, okay, so in the discussion about the court case, like about the hearing for the pretrial, um, basically the feds said that they're going to make sure that the defense has all of the evidence that they need by the 31st, with the exception of some electronic devices that they have not been able to access yet. Now that could be there could be a number of reasons for that. It could be encrypted and they can't get in. It could be they can't log in. It could be there's like locks on the drives. I don't know. I would imagine there could be some penalty for not giving the details that you need to be able to get in if you know it. But then there's also situations where passwords get reset and accounts just basically go dead for whatever reason. And I believe there are ways to how do I read this? How do I word this? I believe there may be ways to subpoena like the tech companies to get in. Like I know that's a thing with like Meta. So like if you can't get into a Facebook account but you need to, I believe you can like take legal action against Meta and say, "Hey, you need to give us that stuff." I've heard of that happening. Don't quote me on it, but I wonder there could be a number of reasons. A number of reasons. Um, Rabbit Fox says, Kim, what's your opinion on Alex Spiro's last comment on Jay-Z distancing from Diddy? Do you think it? Do you feel it made Spyro lose credibility? I think right now, both Buzbee and Spyro are doing things that are putting their credibility into question. I am firmly placed right now in Team No One. Um, so it's a lot. Um, definitely very frustrated with the whole situation because at the end of the day, I think that this very serious topic becoming a circus does nothing but hurt victims. And I'm not here for that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I also feel like, you look at a law firm like Wigdor, who has been the one that has had the win in this case. They represented Cassie. They're not here, there, and everywhere talking to anybody who will listen. Um, Now, I don't know if they would have been if the case wasn't settled as quickly as it was, but it does lead me to have questions, and I'm confused. I'm confused. Let me see. Yeah. I'm just trying to follow it here. Yeah. Yeah, Wendy, Team No One. Team No One. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Exactly, Katie. I am confusion. Put a one in the chat if you know that reference because I realize I say that a lot and I don't know how many of you guys actually know it. It was an old Vine from back in the day and it was a woman looking at a map and saying, "How is this one Kansas and then this one is not Arkansas?" looking at Arkansas. So she just goes, "America! America, explain! What do you mean it's Arkansas?" And it starts with her going, "I am Confucian." And yeah, that's why I say it. Because I go back to that. And one of the things I literally like that lives in my head, like my anxiety when I think about moments where I said things and I'm like, "Oh, that was so awkward." And I was like absolutely mortified, was I was literally on a Disney cruise ship and the there was something that came up and I said the joke in like a crowd of people and I was like the only one that knew it and the whole room just went silent and I had just said Arkansas and I cringed at myself. Producer sister, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Do you want to add anything to this conversation?
I literally can't. When I see Arkansas written in my head, I read it as Arkansas now. That thing has forever altered it in my brain.
I genuinely do have the question. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
this is a real question.
I have. Question.
The Buzbee stuff, though.
Yeah, no, It is getting really circusy, and I like what Natanya was saying, comparing it to Wigdor, of just the professionalism and how you conduct yourself in the court of public opinion, which truly doesn't mean anything. When you're dealing with a lawsuit, you deal with the court.
Yep.
Not the court of public opinion.
Yes.
The actual court.
Yes. But I think we've also learned how powerful the court of public opinion is, and that may be what Jay is banking on, that, whatever they show in court, if he can make a dialogue that it's like, no, I'm innocent no matter what, it's an interesting strategy if that is indeed what he's doing allegedly.
It's also a very risky strategy because everything you can say can be used in that courtroom.
Yep. Well, it looks like Popcorn is coming in. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am not going to bury the lead. We are going to get into it. I will say, if you have not liked this stream, please consider doing so. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. I'd very much appreciate it. They're both free 99 to do, and they make a big difference. I am going to be going through this document. So, what is this document? Well, as soon as I read that there had been a lawsuit filed in the Supreme Court of the state of New York, I went on there and I searched Buzbee, and here we are. There's the Jane Doe. This was received today. And we're going to go through it. So, I believe this is the same one that we're talking about. Probably become very, very clear if it's not. But I think we're good. I think we're good. Alrighty. And I will ask, please be kind to my mods. Please be respectful in the chat. Our rules here are be nice. Be nice or leave, okay? And don't spam. And if you do want to send in any support, I would appreciate it. And I will do my best to get to the, whether they're super chats or whatever, memberships, stickers, all that type of stuff. But I will need to focus a bit on reading. So I will probably go back and forth. So I hope that that is okay with you guys. And for those of you who are new here, if you hear another voice from beyond, we want to say hi.
Hello.
This is my producer sister, and she helps me out behind the scenes. So if you hear another voice talking, that is who it is. It is not just me. It is not just me. Alrighty. Okay, so let's do this. We've got Supreme Court of the State of New York and the County of New York. Jane Doe versus Anthony G. Buzbee. Nature of the action. Plaintiff Jane Doe brings this complaint seeking compensation for the harm she has suffered at the hands of defendant Anthony Glenn Buzbee for his repeated failure to put his ethical obligations as an attorney over his own self-interest. Defendant's deceit and lack of care left plaintiff with an incurable disease and caused her to lose out on assets she should have retained through her divorce. This is going to be fun. Since 2018, defendant has taken advantage of plaintiff for his own personal gain, but that ends now. The first time the parties met, defendant lured her into having an adult encounter with him. I have to use trigger words, guys. I'm sorry. We're going to do the best we can. So an adult encounter with him by concealing the fact that he had something nasty going on down there. Defendant knew of the risk that he would pass the disease to plaintiff if he did not take appropriate precautions, and when that risk materialized, he manipulated her to protect himself from reputational harm using his status as a licensed attorney. How we doing out there, guys? Doing right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much all for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay. Defendant convinced plaintiff to waive her right to monetary compensation, contracting a not-so-nice thing down there from defendant in exchange for free legal services, and then became possessive of the plaintiff in order to keep her close and prevent her from exposing him for what he did to her. On one occasion, defendant became physically violent when he observed plaintiff speaking to another man at a bar in New York, leaving her with 2 broken teeth. Plaintiff became fearful of what defendant would do if she ever spoke out against the defendant. In 2021, as a result of the defendant's manipulation, plaintiff allowed defendant, who had just married a woman 23 years younger than him, to represent her in her divorce. Defendant assured plaintiff that he would fight for her to receive her fair share of the marital assets, but rather than uphold his promises and ethical obligation to zealously advocate for plaintiff's interests within the confines of the law, defendant used the opportunity to doctor plaintiff's medical records and make it look as if he could not have been the one who infected her with the not-so-nice thing. Defendant then used these blatantly falsified records to attempt to blackmail plaintiff's husband to circumvent ordinary negotiations and distribute assets in the context of a divorce. And when that failed, defendant arranged a settlement that left plaintiff with a fraction of what she should have received in order to resolve the matter as quickly as possible and bury his, I'm assuming that's supposed to be buried, his egregious misconduct. All right. One second here, guys. I do want to say thank you so much to Honey LaRouge, who has been a member for 10 months, so close to getting your 1th. Yep, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And Rachel, thank you so much for the super chat you just sent in saying, hi, Rachel from Scotland after midnight now. Oh, well, thank you for spending your night here. That's
staying up with us.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I also will say right now, if we have any issues with this stream, like connection issues, so like the audio gets weird or the video gets weird or anything like that, please reload your stream. It should fix it. And if we disconnect, we'll be right back. It's just an ISP issue, but we're going to do our best. All right. Now, Plaintiff Jane Doe is a resident of the state of Texas. Plaintiff has filed an order to show cause seeking permission to proceed under the false name of Jane Doe in order to avoid reputational harm and collateral consequences from public disclosure of her sensitive medial information. I'm assuming that's supposed to say medical. Upon information and belief, defendant Anthony Glenn Buzbee is a resident of Texas and maintains a residence in New York, New York, and is registered to practice law in the state of New York and has been registered to practice law in New York since January 17th, 2019. Defendant's New York attorney registration represents that his business address is located at 600 Travis Street, Houston, Texas. All right. Now, we've got, this is the jurisdiction and belief. Okay, let's go into the factual allegations if you guys are good. Let's do it. Let's do it. In early 2018, plaintiff connected with defendant online, where he charmed her with conversation and persuaded her to meet in person for a date. Okay. Plaintiff traveled to defendant's hometown of Houston, Texas, where he took her to dinner and a show. And after the show, the defendant invited plaintiff to stay and have a few drinks, and then arranged for them to spend the night in a 5-star hotel. Defendant seduced plaintiff to engage in adult activities without disclosing that he had the nasty thing going on down there. After spending the night with the defendant in early 2018, plaintiff began to feel uncomfortable sensations around her areas. Her area. Plaintiff made an appointment with her physician to address the issue. Shortly after the appointment, plaintiff's physician informed plaintiff that she had contracted a not-so-nice disease from her encounter with the defendant. Plaintiff's physician shared with her the unfortunate news that the condition was incurable and could cause her pain and embarrassment for the rest of her life. After receiving the diagnosis, plaintiff called defendant to inform him that he had transmitted this to her. Defendant was apologetic and unsurprised on information and belief. He was already aware that he had the condition and that he did not take appropriate precautions to prevent transmission when they were engaging in adult activities. Now, the defendant instructed plaintiff not to tell anyone and offered to provide free legal services as compensation for his deceit and carelessness that resulted in the plaintiff contracting this incurable disease. I have so many questions. Like, just breaking for a second. There's gonna be medical records.
Yep.
There's gonna be a trail of when a call happened between them, right? I'm sure they can probably order a test.
Yep.
This is bad. Like, I am not of the belief that... Okay. It is entirely possible, in my opinion, that this could be a smear campaign against him. Because this is not only just about Diddy. This is about the other celebrities that apparently that, have been sent, letters saying, hey, we should do a mediation or whatever because we have a Jane or John Doe who has alleged that you did this monstrous thing to them at a Diddy party type thing. There's a lot of very powerful people who could be, wanting this to happen.
They want to discredit this man and make him and his clients go away.
Yes. And so I'm saying that is possible.
Yeah.
That is possible. But this is a tough one to be like, this isn't true when there would probably be a good amount of evidence. That's my concern. But
if you're going to do a full smear campaign involving specific medical records like this, wouldn't be the best strategy.
Okay, so going back to the document. Filled with shame and grief over her diagnosis, plaintiff continued seeing defendant, the only partner she would not have to inform of the disease. Defendant became possessive of plaintiff in an effort to keep her close and manipulate her into keeping his secret. Defendant began inviting plaintiff on trips with him in his private jet to Panama and New York City, where he owned a residence. While in New York City with the defendant, plaintiff and a friend had a drink at a bar where defendant would later meet them. When defendant entered, he observed plaintiff conversing with another patron at the bar. In a jealous rage, defendant smashed plaintiff's glass into her face, causing plaintiff's front teeth to chip. Plaintiff became fearful of what defendant would do if she ever spoke out against defendant and stayed silent until filing this lawsuit. Okay. And again, with that at the bar, I would assume there's witnesses.
And dental records.
Mm-hmm.
Because for those who don't know, I have fallen and I chipped my front tooth.
Yes.
That takes a good amount of force.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the first things they wanted to do with me at the dentist was take x-rays to make sure there weren't further problems or shifting in my gums and all that kind of stuff. So I would imagine they would want to do something similar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, we have the potential of witnesses, of medical records. Oh, this is not good.
Yeah. So we have more medical records now involved.
Okay, so part 2 of this. Defendant committed legal malpractice and violated his ethical duties to cover up his misdeeds. Approximately 2.5 years later, in 2021, plaintiff and then husband initiated a divorce. Consistent with his promise to provide free legal services in exchange for plaintiff's silence, defendant undertook representation of plaintiff in her divorce. Defendant assured plaintiff that he would fight for her to receive her fair share of marital assets. The defendant used his position as plaintiff's sole attorney as an opportunity to doctor plaintiff's medical records to make it look as if he could not have been the one who infected her with the disease. I'm going to need to see the receipts on that, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a claim.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a Jedi mind trick. These are not the records you're looking for, you know? Oof. Okay. Specifically, defendant falsified tests to show that she contracted the condition in 2020 from her soon-to-be ex-husband, rather than in 2018 from the defendant. Okay, but with that though, there's got to be something to her talking about it or telling somebody or having a doctor's appointment in 2018 before 2020. Okay, this is weird. On April... Sorry?
Did it not say earlier okay, so was she cheating on her husband the whole time? Or did they have an open relationship then,
I have no idea.
Because it said she continued the relationship because of the STI.
Her only partner.
But yet she was still married?
Okay.
I'm confused there with the relationship status. Were they separated for that entire time?
I want to ask the husband.
I got questions.
We got to ask the husband. I want to know.
It's possible. I'm just...
Yep.
It seems odd when they said that she stayed with him because of it and her only partner, but yet now she's filing for divorce.
Yeah, this is odd. Okay.
So,
all right. On April 13th, 2021, defendant sent a demand letter to plaintiff's husband with a knowingly fraudulent claim that he, rather than the defendant, had infected plaintiff with the disease. Defendant's attempt at blackmail did not work, and plaintiff's husband continued to litigate the divorce. Well, I mean, if he doesn't have it...
Yeah, again, medical records can prove that.
If he doesn't have it... Oh my gosh! Does he... I know way too much about these people already. Yeah. I don't even know who these people are. And I know way too much about them. Way too much. Okay. On June 14th, 2021, prior to mediation in the divorce proceedings, plaintiff's husband made request for discovery related to the defendant. Defendant insisted that the divorce settle quickly and without discovery. On information and belief, defendant provided this advice to avoid production of documents that would uncover his fraud and his role in infecting plaintiff with the disease. Do we have to keep saying it? Like, how many... Okay, I'm doing this quickly. I'm going to search... I don't know if you guys can see it in the top corner. Disease. It says disease in here 20 times. Gosh. They really want you to know. They really want you to know. Okay. At the defendant's insistence and direction, plaintiff entered the divorce settlement that resulted in a dramatic loss for the plaintiff, who otherwise stood to recover an equitable split of marital assets. The defendant also directed that the divorce settlement include an arbitration clause precluding plaintiff from further litigation with her husband. On information and belief, defendant inserted this term to prevent his involvement from being exposed in courts open to the public. Interesting. Okay, so first cause of action, legal malpractice. All right. Plaintiff incorporates by reference all of the foregoing allegations as though fully set forth herein. Defendant represented plaintiff during plaintiff's divorce in 2021. During defendant's representation of plaintiff, defendant induced plaintiff to engage in mediation and agree to a settlement without litigation or discovery. By causing plaintiff to agree to a settlement without litigation, plaintiff was forced to accept settlement far below the amount she was otherwise entitled to. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's actions, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Okay, so they don't know. That's what it reads to me. Or is it just going to be like they're going to consider pain and suffering? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, yeah. Okay. Second cause of action, violation of judiciary law. Plaintiffs incorporate by reference all foregoing allegations as though fully set forth herein. I'm sorry. During defendant's representation of plaintiff, he caused plaintiff to avoid litigation against her husband in her divorce proceeding. Further, defendant caused plaintiff's divorce settlement to incorporate an arbitration provision that has deprived plaintiff of adequate remedy to litigate issues concerning the divorce settlement. I want to know what she got.
Yeah. So are they saying she signed off under duress then, I guess?
I guess.
Because she would have had to sign off on the divorce settlement.
Yeah. Interesting. Defendant's actions were undertaken to protect defendant's interests, concealing blackmail attempt, misconduct as plaintiff's attorney, and role in infecting plaintiff with a venereal disease. Again, we're saying it again. As a result of the defendant's willful neglect of his client's legal rights in her divorce proceedings to protect himself, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Did I already read that? Did I just read it again? No.
No.
It's the same point. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so they don't know. Third cause of action, breach of fiduciary duty. Plaintiff's lawyer in her divorce proceedings. Defendant owed plaintiff a fiduciary duty. Defendant's successful efforts to induce plaintiff to accept an inadequate settlement to avoid litigation, which would have resulted in the discovery of defendant's fraud, constitute breach of defendant's fiduciary duty to plaintiff. As a result, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer damages and an amount to be proven at trial. Fourth cause, fraudulent misrepresentation. Oh my goodness. This is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot. Plaintiff incorporates by reference all of the foregoing allegations as though fully set forth herein. To benefit himself, defendant made material and intentional misrepresentations of present fact to plaintiff, including that he was advocating for her interests as counsel in her divorce proceedings. Defendant knew these representations were material, false, and misleading. In reality, defendant used his position as plaintiff's attorney to serve his own interests at the detriment of the plaintiff. Defendant made these misrepresentations with the intent and expectation that plaintiff would rely on them. Plaintiff reasonably relied on defendant's misrepresentations, without which plaintiff would have been entitled to larger portion of the marital assets. But for the defendant's misrepresentations, the plaintiff would not have entered into the divorce settlement and would not have agreed to any distribution of assets less than what she was legally entitled to under the Texas Family Code. Plaintiff has suffered substantial damage as a direct result of defendant's fraudulent misrepresentations in an amount to be determined at trial. Each of defendant's acts of fraudulent misrepresentations were willful, wanton, and malicious, entitling plaintiff to punitive damages. I mean, are we going to have to prove malice?
Mm.
That's always the fun one.
That's the fun
That's
one.
the fun one! I don't know, though. I don't know what they have to prove for that. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I am just a commentator that talked a lot about Britney Spears and people decided to stay. So here I am. Plaintiff incorporates by reference. Oh, this is for, was it tortious interference?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I didn't say that wrong. Plaintiff incorporates by reference all of the foregoing allegations as though fully set forth herein. Plaintiff's divorce agreement constituted an economic opportunity for plaintiff. As plaintiff counsel in her divorce proceedings, defendant was aware of plaintiff's economic opportunity. While aware of that opportunity, defendant induced plaintiff to accept a de minimis settlement to protect defendant's personal interests. As a result, defendant's tortious conduct, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer damages that will be proven at trial. Sixth cause. Oh my goodness, how many causes are there?
A lot.
There's a lot of causes.
My word.
Wow. Hang on. Ugh. Sorry. Yeah, Denise Rose just said, seems like there were a lot of people trying to muddy these cases and take attention off them. Look over there. A little bit.
Distraction.
So, declaratory judgment. Plaintiff incorporates by reference of all the foregoing allegations as though fully set forth herein. Plaintiff entered into the divorce settlement with her ex-husband in 2021. I want to talk to this husband.
Yeah.
Plaintiff entered into the divorce settlement in reliance of defendant's advice as her attorney. Defendant's advice and conduct representing plaintiff in her divorce proceedings constitutes legal malpractice. I will say, if this is true, I agree with this statement. This is not the way it's supposed to be. Plaintiff's ex-husband has taken the position that under the terms of the divorce settlement, plaintiff is not entitled to any portion of the income he has recently received from assets he acquired during the marriage. So husband won't give her any money.
Nope.
Oh, man. This, okay. Plaintiff is therefore entitled to a declaration that the terms of the divorce settlement are null and void, or in the alternative, the defendant's malpractice deprived plaintiff of her right portion of the marital assets. I mean, I have to say, I don't feel like he should have to give anything up now. This wasn't his fault. Like the ex-husband?
Yeah.
Right? Like I wouldn't want to give anything up either. Just like, no, this is what you agreed to. And I mean, under duress, unfortunately. But yeah, if this is indeed what happened, if what she's saying is true, I feel like Buzbee should have to pay, not the ex.
Yeah.
That's just...
The question is, are they getting... Yeah, they need to get this settled so then they can take it back and go against the ex-husband, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have so many questions. Like, when you go down that rabbit hole, so... Again, and this goes back to what was the status of their relationship for those few years.
Mm-hmm.
If she was continuing on a relationship with him, because then could he sue her that she had this disease and didn't disclose it to him and could have infected him, so she put him at risk, and
it's messy.
it just goes. Like,
this is very
the
messy.
rabbit hole just continues.
Oh, this is drama. This is a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Okay. So plaintiff is therefore entitled to a declaration that the terms of the divorce settlement are null and void, or in the alternative, that defendant's malpractice deprived plaintiff of her right to a portion of the marital assets. An actual justiciable controversy exists between plaintiff and defendant whether the divorce settlement is a result of legal malpractice, entitling plaintiff to renegotiate or receive a portion of her marital assets. A declaratory judgment would serve as the useful purpose of clarifying and settling any future interpretation of the divorce settlement. A declaratory judgment would finalize the controversy and offer the plaintiff relief. The substantial controversy between the parties is of sufficient immediacy and reality to warrant issuance of a declaratory judgment. Okay, so prayer for relief. Wherefore, by reason of the foregoing, plaintiff hereby respectfully requests the following relief against the defendant: actual damages, consequential damages, punitive damages, and any such other relief available under the causes of action in an amount to be determined at trial. A declaration that the divorce settlement is null and void, or in the alternative, that the defendant's malpractice deprived plaintiff of her right to a portion of the liquidity event. The costs of bringing this suit, including reasonable attorney's fees and such other further and different relief as to the court appears just and proper. And there we are. Today's date, New York, New York, to Anthony Buzbee at the Buzbee Law Firm. And there is the dumpster fire. All right, you guys. It's your turn. It is your turn to talk about this now. I am interested in what you guys think. I am very interested in what you guys think. Because to me, this is a mess. This is a big mess.
Very messy.
Oh my goodness. Heather, hello. I'm in a food coma and I'm confused. I want to hear from the husband so bad.
Yeah.
This is now my I want to know what the husband. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. It's like the main thing that I'm thinking about now is that. But yes, Katie Artist, crying giraffe. Crying giraffe. I am the crying giraffe right now. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. Okay, so HCY projects. You need to reasonably prove Buzbee did this and gave her the condition. They are trying to throw lawsuits on him, so he's too busy with his own case. He won't be able to focus on Jay-Z and Diddy, mark my words. It's not a crazy concept. It's not a crazy theory. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's just... This is a lot. Oh, Heather, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. Smile. I'm so tired, guys. I'm so tired. Yes, Santil said if he allegedly gave Jane Doe a disease or whatever it's called, would he not have infected other people before and after the Jane Doe? And this is what's scaring me now, is if this is true, how many more are going to come forward? You know? This is bad. This is bad. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ken said, missed the beginning. How can this affect Diddy? Okay, it's that Tony Buzbee is the attorney who is representing the majority of these civil suits that have been filed against Sean Combs. And those do not affect the federal case, right?
This is separate from the federal. This is separate,
right? Because you've got, like, federal criminal court, which is why Diddy is currently incarcerated. Or in jail. I found apparently you're not incarcerated. That's not the right word yet. And then you have the civil, which is where people can sue other people, and they usually are suing because they want monetary compensation. They want money, right? You did this to me, you're going to pay. That type of thing. So this is all in the civil court. But the problem is, what it looks like right now, I think to some people, is they are trying to, that there are lawsuits coming forward that are putting doubts on Buzbee's credibility as an attorney. And it looks like there's been filings that people are trying to, like, put sanctions forward, things of that nature. All of a sudden, if he is not a credible lawyer, that affects then the civil cases. That affects a lot of alleged victims at this time. It's messy. On top of that, it also is like, in the case for like Jay-Z right now, it casts doubt on him being potentially implicated and for any other celebrity that is implicated as time goes on. So this is like, producer sister, am I missing anything?
No, I think.
Yeah. So it's messy. It's not good for victims, but what? What?
Sorry.
What?
Lee's.
Who? What?
Lee's message to me.
Oh, Lee? Lee, producer sister, a real life what Mario isn't telling you, he'll be ripping up posters in shop windows in the subway next. What is that from?
Friends.
Oh, that's like a deep cut. It sounds like a little bit.
I think it's the first season, and Joey does an ad, and it ends up being for an STD, and his picture is up in the subway with what disease he has written below, and he keeps ripping off like the bottom foot of the poster, and it like the words just get worse and worse underneath. And yeah, then his family won't let him come for dinner because they think he has it. And yeah,
yes. Okay, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Virtual Tourist said marriage is not a business relationship, and if it were, the severance of a marriage could not be a contract that would otherwise be fulfilled without external influence, not tortious interference. That's an interesting perspective. I can't confirm, or deny that, but that is an interesting perspective. Ryan Anderson, thank you for saying Sean Combs and not Diddy. I alternate between all of his names. My favorite name for him here is Sean John Jacob Jingle Heimer Schmidt.
Because he has too many names.
That is in the description of most of my videos because there's too many names and they keep changing and I'm tired. So, oh, Kyle, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I hope you're doing okay. I also see Emma Washin saying, why is it only coming up now, not when it supposedly happened? I mean, that's a question you could ask basically anybody who files a lawsuit that has anything to do with what I would say would be a power dynamic, right? Because you're scared to file because the person is powerful. And then all of a sudden, if there's a moment where they have a weakness, it's like, oh, people might actually believe me now, right? I feel like we see that with SA cases all the time, all that type of stuff. I think there's a reason that a lot more lawsuits picked up steam after Cassie, and then even more started picking up steam after he was raided and arrested, right? Because all of a sudden people felt like they wouldn't get laughed out of the room for what they were alleging happened because it was sounded so far-fetched, right?
I would also be interested in knowing, like, how long has it been since this divorce got settled? Mm-hmm. What is the time frame? Because I think it said it was filed in 2021.
Yes.
For divorce? But yes. When did it actually... Was it settled?
I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't remember hearing that in what you read. So how long has it actually been?
Yeah. I don't know. Diva D has been a member for 16 months. Suing Buzbee won't stop the victim suits. Make it make sense. I mean, I hope not. I hope not. I mean, they likely would just find another attorney to represent it, but it doesn't make it look good. That's all. Katie Artist, our wonderful mod, has been a member for 17 months. They need cheesecake and garlic bread. Yes, they do, because we all do. We all need cheesecake and garlic bread. Let me see here. Yeah. Okay, just catching up. Yep, Kyle, the gifted memberships. Okay, let me find where I was in the chat. You guys are amazing. Okay. Let me see here. Michelle, thank you for joining the Space Angels. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, my friend. Jay said, was it Katya? Katya? I hope I said that right. I'm so sorry if I did not. Please forgive me and correct me, and I will do my best. Jay said that he'd prove that Tony is an ambulance chaser. That is the agenda, clearly. I mean, here's the thing. If he is, then we need to know.
Mm-hmm. And the victims
need to know
someone who can represent them.
Yep.
Like, we need truth.
Yep. I agree.
The victims need truth. If this is their lawyer and this is who he really is, then they need to know that so they can choose if they still want to be represented by him.
Yeah. Let me see. Wendy just said I can't play Mario World the same way. Or the same. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Katie Artist, I'm going to say, there's a lot of you here. Please hit that like button. Smash that like. Because I assume you like being here, because if you didn't, that would be weird.
Why are you still here?
Why are you still here? I want you to enjoy your life. You don't have to sit and watch something you don't want to watch. It's okay. So smash that like button. It helps out the channel. Make sure you've hit that subscribe. I usually do streams about twice a week. I know over the next couple weeks is going to be a little bit weird because it's the holidays and everything else. But the show is kind of like this. We start with the main topic, which is usually what's in the thumbnail, and we usually go through articles, legal documents. We go deep into context. Then we have a section like what we have right now that I call halftime, where I communicate with my beautiful, beautiful community of Space Angels. That's what I call my members as well as my subscribers. Welcome. And then we have a section towards the end called What the What, which is where I read something from around the internet that is interesting, funny, crazy, all wholesome. I haven't seen it. Producer Sister puts it together. So I react to it authentically with you and we have a good time. But we're not going to do that tonight because it is getting late for us. But yeah, I wanna stay with this and talk to you guys. So
I do have one prep that's not very long that I sent you, if you want.
it's okay. It's okay. I said like the main thing was going to be this, and I want to have this conversation with you guys and really talk about it and everything because I think that this is important. Let me see. Denny Rose, prenup with sour pill clause. You cheat on me, you get nothing. Yeah, yeah. Da, da, da. Yeah, or as Andy's dad says, Katie Artist, itty, because he's an idiot. Yep. That was so funny. Oh my gosh. Da, da, da. Oh my goodness. Ah, my chat is moving. I'm too far behind. Okay, I'm gonna have to scroll a bit. I'm so sorry. I don't want to miss your comments, but I think I'm gonna have to. Demarcus Mom 05 said Tony was hired by the Texas Attorney General. He's definitely not an ambulance chaser. I'm open to evidence to tell me differently. I'm open to evidence to tell me whatever the truth is. I'm here for it. King Bob, thank you so much for the gifted membership. That's so kind of you. Thank you. I am looking into the Funko thing. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're working on it. We're working on it. I was hoping to have more of an answer for you potentially tonight, actually, but I don't think that's going to happen this evening.
No.
It's long and complicated, but it's okay. Okay. Heather Salvador has been a member for 25 months. Woo. Thank you so much, Heather. You are such a huge supporter of this channel, and I just saw you just gifted 10 memberships, which is so incredibly generous. You are amazing. Thank you. So do you think Buzz is there to muddy the waters? I don't know. I don't know. I am, okay. How do I word this? Okay. I understand that conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories for a reason, and it is just that. It is a theory. And a lot of things that end up becoming true begin as theories. I completely understand that. I've never considered myself to be someone who is more of a conspiracy theorist person. A lot of the time I like to listen to both sides of the conversation, and usually the truth is somewhere in the middle, and there very rarely is this is the good side, this is the bad side, because both sides think they're good, right? Because everybody thinks that they're doing the best they can in life and they're making the best choices they can, and if there was fault, it wasn't their fault, and blah 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 blah. So there's always truth in the middle. And I would hope that Buzbee was not hired to muddy the waters or hasn't taken this opportunity to do so. I will say I have questions about how all of these people were vetted, because now I'm going, what other law firm did they get these people from after the Jane Doe and that interview with NBC? Because that's basically been his excuse. He's like, well, she was supposed to be pre-vetted, so we didn't. That's not acceptable, first of all.
It's your job to vet your clients.
Yeah. And quite bluntly, like, I don't want to speak too much about the Jane Doe specifically, because as Spyro said, and I think he is right about this, she's been through a lot, and he doesn't want to go after her. I don't want to go after her. I am frustrated, and I will say, I said this on my last stream, and I had someone tell me that I needed to take some time off and take care of myself, and recenter for saying this. I don't believe that Buzbee protected their client. And I believe that regardless of whether you are guilty, not guilty, your legal representation is there to protect you. That's why you get legal representation, right? And I don't know how this interview happened. I don't think it ever should have happened. It's a major problem. And I also take a look at it and I just go, Buzbee, you have someone who's claimed that they had a brain injury. I don't know where she is in her healing process, but to me, that, and the lawsuit being potentially at 3 major celebrities, every line of that lawsuit should have been vetted. Every single one. Because that's, like, I don't get it. I don't get it, and that's really frustrating to me. And it's so sloppy I can't ignore it. At the same time, I can't ignore Spyro being like, you know, Jay-Z basically did a I don't know her. He, like, Mariah carried up in here for no reason. Like, I can't. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. We go. Okay. And Wendy sent in a super chat. Thank you so much. You guys are spoiling me tonight. I appreciate that. Happy holidays to you all. Wendy said, thanks, Kyle, Kim, Sis, Mods, and Space Angels. Thank you, Wendy. You are amazing. I so appreciate you. Okay, let me go here. Oh, was it people asking about Lacey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. She is upstairs. She was with me through the whole popcorn stream, but she needs to eat and, be puppy, and I'm okay. I'm okay. So it's all good. Crystal R, welcome to the Space Angels. Thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate that. Hope you enjoy it. And I'm catching up. Why are we talking about Snoop or Snoopy? What is happening? Sometimes I feel like when I read the chat, I walk into a room and there's like random conversations, and I'm like, I am confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I am confusion. Oh my gosh, Dreadnought. Might the previous firm have been Charleston, Bredehoff, Cohen, and Brown? Because they did so well for their last big client. I don't know. Maybe they're trying. I don't know.
It is interesting, though, and I know I've seen it in the chat, too, of what law firm filed this.
Are you seriously asking me? Because I can pull it up.
I'm curious to, and I think people are, with the allegations that this is a plant or whatnot, does this law firm have an association with Diddy? Or with Diddy or Jay or anyone? Is that a rabbit hole? I don't know.
Okay. Well, there's the name. It is, you should be able to see it in a second, producer sister. It's Jeremy and I don't know how to say that word, but they are in Austin, Texas. And
so
it
they
looks
probably have a history with Buzbee.
Yeah, and it looks like
also in Texas.
It's Jeremy's law firm based on the email address. So that would be my guess.
That may be nothing. It may be something. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he did make a comment that this is somebody who's been in the sphere, Buzbee, I believe. So yeah, we'll have to see. Oh my gosh, Dreadnought. Some say Elaine is still trying. Oh, she had an uphill battle. In all honesty, the longer I spend away from that trial, the more sympathy I have for her, because that was a nightmare. Let me see here. Yeah, exactly, Kyle. The lawyer is supposed to be your sword and shield, not a bullet in your foot. 100%. 100%. And I don't think me saying that her lawyer should have protected her better means that I need to take time off.
Nope.
But okay. You do you. You do you. Let me see. DeMarcus Mamo 5, what about Rock Nation hiring private investigators to, I assume you mean intimidate TikTokers and YouTubers? Again, okay, so here's the thing. This is something that I'm getting a little bit frustrated with, and it's not actually DeMarcus Mamo 5, at all. But it's just, people hear something and they go immediately that is fact, right? We don't know if it's Rock Nation. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, right? It looks like a duck. It quacks like a duck. It's likely a duck. But we don't know. So I can't sit here and say what I think about Rock Nation hiring private investigators to intimidate TikTokers and YouTubers because I don't know if they did. Right? And I can have my speculation, but I can't state that because it would be an untrue statement. Because I can't go to court and prove that, right? Yeah. So,
as Katie just said, we need receipts.
Yeah, it's a very serious thing to accuse. I will say I have not been approached by anybody. It's been so funny this week. As soon as I've been Jane Doe lawsuit doesn't make sense. You're getting paid by Jay-Z. No, I'm just reading things that don't make sense. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Go here. Okay. Yeah, Katie, we need receipts. Absolutely. And Wendy said, I'm a skeptic. I need proof. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, Katie just said Luigi Faglioni is now in the same prison as Diddy. This is a party in there at this point. Oh my gosh. I can't. I can't. Oh my gosh. Okay, Heather, thank you again for another super chat. My goodness, you're being incredibly generous today. Snoop on a stoop and Martha on something sold at Walmart instead of Elf on the shelf. Snoop on a stoop. Stop it. It's not real, please. Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, but like Joker's just said, like Shaq involved in being in the Diddy network and past. How do you know that? How do you know that? That's the thing. I'm not accusing anybody of anything until I have verifiable information because that's irresponsible. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, this is funny. This is like the Snoop on a stoop and Luigi being in there. That's funny. That's funny. It is, Heather says. It is, fam. I walked by it today. Oh gosh. Oh, Danny just said, uh-oh, full conspiracy. Luigi's real target was Diddy. The whole time. All of this was because of that. No. King Bob just said Kim has her own elf on the shelf right behind her. No, I have the professor from Puppet History from Watcher Entertainment because he is fabulous and I love him and he is my sweet boy. That is him. That is him. Oh my goodness. Okay. Producer sister. By any chance, did you search that name and see if anything came up?
Like his law firm came up.
Okay.
And that he's the managing partner. He is part of the New York bar, Connecticut bar, USDC for the Eastern District of New York, USDC for the Southern District of New York. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Katya just sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. And it's the rose. Oh, that's so sweet. That's our favorite. Like that's producer sister's favorite flower.
Yep.
So it's very sweet. It's
you
very
should have
sweet.
seen me. I was fangirling over a bouquet of roses today in the grocery store.
Oh, were you?
They were beautiful.
What were they? Were they colored?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it later. We'll see. Oh, King Bob meant Alf. Fair.
That's true.
Yeah. Other one over there. Yeah. Pardon? So I thought I heard you say something.
No, it's true. You got Alf.
I do. I have Alf on my left, and I have the professor on my right. Fanfiction. You can go. That's ridiculous. Bye. Like just leave. I hope I'm saying your name right, Katya. Thank you so much. That is wonderful. Alrighty. Well, guys, we've been going for over an hour. Oh, Michelle just said, I love the elf doll. Does it talk? Yeah. I get this question all the time. Okay, here's what I'll do. We'll stay for another 5-10 minutes. If you have questions, now is the time. If you want to send in support, now is the time. This is what I call last call. This is your final warning. Now, my Alf doll, for everybody who is asking, I did not purchase this Alf doll. It was given to me by an adult in my life. And I tell the story in one of my members only videos in more detail than I'll get into here. But basically, this person had influence in my life. I cared a lot about what they thought about me, and they knew that I really liked Alf, and they gave me their old plush because I was the weird kid that was, too young to know what Alf was, but I was still watching it because I loved it, and I love puppets. I love Muppets. I love all of that stuff. And there was one day where this person asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I responded that I wanted to do more stuff like on stage and performance and all those types of things because I loved doing that stuff and being in front of cameras and all that other type of thing. And this person responded by saying, "I don't think that's for you. I think you should help, somebody else be great." So that doll right there is a reminder that that person was wrong. And you can do whatever you want to do. You got to work, you got to do your best, but don't let the haters get you down. And also, as an adult now, me sitting here going, who says that to a kid? Like, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
That was garbage. Ew. Right? Like, what even was that? I can't. So, yeah. That's why the elf doll is there. Because it's my little, it's, it as Wendy just said, F them. It's my reminder to myself. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Alrighty. Do. Okay. Have you had any more issues with spammer people?
They came back, but they've been timed out.
Okay. Good. Exactly, Katie. They needed an effing lamp. They needed the shade, the bulb, the cord. They needed it all. Put the lampshade on your head and go walk into traffic. If you guys have not heard, you could use an effing lamp, because I know we got some new people here. It is a song, and it is flawless, and it is amazing, and it is my song that I scream when I am angry, and it is like a joke in this community now that if someone is very stupid, they're so dim, they look like they could use an effing lamp. Shout out to Obscurus Vinyl. I love you. Was it Lego Mike said she still loves you though, producer sister? What?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love producer sister.
She's stuck with me.
Yep. We blood.
Yep. Forever and ever.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Yeah, no, Michelle just said I loved Alf when it was on. Yeah, I used to record it on VHS back in the day, so I would record Muppets Tonight, Alf, and SCTV. For those of you, my Canadians out there, and watch it on my little VHS TV in my room, and pollute my mind with some of the best media I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, that is basically what formed my sense of humor, and that's why it's weird. Alrighty. Kyle, Lamp. We love you, Lamp. I love Lamp. I love Lamp. Diddy Rose. Kim has way too much respect for herself than to be bought by JC or the Diddler. I also just feel like if all of a sudden I got given a whole bunch of money, there might be signs. There are no signs.
None.
Oh, no. I have no interest in doing that. None at all. And it's not the first time I've been accused of, somebody paying me off to do something or whatever, and it's never happened. It's ridiculous. It's just like, oh, we're doing this again. Okay. Let me see here. King Bob, I hope you feel better. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. Oh, Lego Mike said that was a joke that producer sister gave you the elf. No,
it was not me.
No, I'm pretty sure producer sister probably has some opinions about that person as well, so.
A little bit.
We're good. Don't worry. We're good.
I don't think you would be letting me sit here and be a part of things if I was that person.
No, I would not. I've thought about sending it to that person.
No,
But I've been like, you know what? It's not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it. It's not. It's not. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it taught me a lesson that I needed to learn for myself. And I'm glad I learned it. And I try to be grateful in that way. But yeah, and also that I know I will never tell a kid that they can't do something. Because I also kind of felt like the comment was kind of like, you're not talented enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not like who would want to watch you type thing. And that was a dialogue that like lived in my head for a long time and was a huge part of why I didn't start doing YouTube earlier. And I had to really fight that. And I still struggle with it, right? I think everybody does in some capacity.
And to be honest, you sending it back to them, I doubt they even remember.
No, they probably don't.
And this is the thing that I think events in your life that become so formative for you can be completely off the cuff moments for the other person involved.
Yeah.
So
I think it just hurt more because I don't want to say much more because I have no interest in exposing this person. But when I say this person had a position of influence in my life, I mean that.
Yeah.
They were to lead. So it's just to me, it was a very irresponsible thing. Now I look at it as an adult to say to a child. And
I think there's
insane.
also ways to have those conversations and times to have those conversations. And that was neither.
Yeah, it was neither. Yeah.
And certain people who should be having those conversations with you.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah. So, let me see. Alrighty. Well, guys, I think I'm going to wind down. We've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. I am so happy you guys all came out, and I think we had, a shorter show than normal, but I think we had a good time.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I'm going to stream again this week. It's unfortunately at this point, guys, it's the holidays are nuts, and I'm also now behind the scenes at Popcorn, and I have to help Andy with stuff. And if you can imagine right now, he's got the documentary stuff going on, he's got to prep holiday content, and then he's got his day-to-day, and then he just has life. So there's a lot of stuff we have to prep for and get ready and do, and sometimes it is like I'm just taking things an hour at a time at this point. My average work day these past 2 weeks has been about 14 hours. So I'm doing the best I can. And I'm not trying to neglect you guys, I swear. But it's that time of year. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to roll my outro. You guys have a great night or morning or whatever
time it is for you.
Whatever time it is for you. Enjoy your day. Or whatever. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Much love.